Welcome back to Power of Sports, presented by Delaware Life. I'm Rick Horrow. Well, it's no coincidence we started the show right here in Oklahoma City. This is a place that's become one of the best cities to live and work in America, largely because of sports. And 3 decades of mayors right here at City Hall who had a great vision of what the city could become. Let's start with a flashback to the 1980s. More specifically, Oklahoma City in the 1980s. Oklahoma City State Senator David Holt described it as less of a city and more of just a place where people happened to live.
Nothing ever happened in Oklahoma City, and young people are acutely aware of that, and that's why we lost a whole generation to Dallas, Houston, or LA or New York for the more adventurous.
25 years ago, you could have shot a cannon down here and you wouldn't have hurt anybody.
We had a downtown that was devoid of any activity. Oklahoma City needed a shot in the arm.
Ron Norick was elected mayor of Oklahoma City in 1987 at the age of 45. His vision was to create a better quality of life for the city by stimulating its growth.
I knew it would be good, but I had no idea that it would do this.
His 1993 proposal was called MAPS, short for Metropolitan Area Projects. Of the 9 projects on the first list, 4 had either direct or indirect ties to sports.
When you talk about quality of life, the biggest pieces were the sports.
But first, voters had to approve a 5-year 1-cent sales tax to foot the bill in a city that had a tradition of rejecting these types of proposals.
People would tell me, well, I don't go to the ballpark, or I don't want to go to the ballet, or I don't want to go to the library, or whatever it was, and I'd always come back with the question, but maybe your kids or your grandkids would, and you want them staying around, don't you? MAPS passed, and its legacy projects have and continue to transform the city. Bricktown Ballpark opened in 1998, and the area around it developed into a social hub of activity in the city.
It was like a light bulb went off in the collective minds of the citizens of Oklahoma City. They'd been waiting so long for something really good to happen. With the ballpark, there was a semblance that you might actually someday start inviting your family and friends from other parts of the country to come see this place, because we knew there was a lot more to come.
After Hurricane Katrina ripped through New Orleans in 2005, the NBA's Hornets needed a temporary home, and the brand new MAPS-funded Ford Center was ready and waiting. The revived sports fans in the city quickly proved they were a big league town. On the first day of season ticket sales, deposits were placed on 5,000 orders. In all, 11,500 season tickets would be sold for a team that's still technically called another city home.
No city in America has ever reacted for a professional sports team like our city reacted for that team. We had more million-dollar sponsors than the rest of the league combined.
The pinnacle of the influence of the 1993 MAPS projects came in 2008, when it was announced that one of the NBA's premier franchises, the Seattle Supersonics, were moving to Oklahoma City, leaving an area with double the metro population. The Oklahoma City Thunder have become the pride of the city ever since.
Do you ever really think that you'd get an NBA team in town?
No, the timing was right, our city was right, we were hungry. Every game sold out. I mean, it's sold out every time.
I have a son now, he's 7. I think about this all the time. He's got a whole wall covered in Sports Illustrated with Thunder covers, I mean, the idea
hard
that,
to believe years ago.
Right.
Exactly.
My childhood, the idea that Oklahoma City would be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. We'd be excited if we'd be in the faces in the crowd section or something. To be on the cover of Sports Illustrated 10 times, enough that you could fill my son's wall. It's beyond our wildest dreams.
It gave us that major league connotation. We'd been a minor league city for 116 years. We became major league, and then we lived up to it.
Is the reason why MAPS was so successful the fact that this is a multi-generational community that really did believe in the future? Was it the trust in politicians in an environment where it's so difficult to do that? Was it the makeup of the projects? Was it all of that?
All of that, yeah. It's been a brilliant blueprint, and we're still following it here in Oklahoma City 25 years later.